RadioNOW 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.
Hello, I'm Emily Metheny, your host. Not only are people dealing with mental health during the coronavirus pandemic, it's also May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. Julie Harden is the chapter administrator for the Greater Indianapolis section of the National Alliance on Mental Health, or NAMI. First, Julie explains why Indy has its own chapter.
So NAMI stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization that is sincerely dedicated to just building better lives for everyone that is affected by mental illness. So being the largest grassroots organization, NAMI is in every single state. It's also in Puerto Rico and in Washington, D.C. And there is a national NAMI organization that oversees all of the programming that is given out to the community at all levels. So all of the programs that are NAMI signature programs are the same exact researched and developed programs from the national organization through the whole country. And so then all of the states, most of the states actually, have a state organization. So we have NAMI Indiana within our state. And NAMI Indiana helps promote having affiliates within the state that do the programming that NAMI provides. And so we are the affiliate, NAMI Greater Indianapolis, that is under NAMI Indiana. And we are led by dedicated volunteer members and leaders that raise awareness and promote the essential education, advocacy, and support group programs for the people in our community. And we do those programs for people with a mental health condition as well as for their family members. And so we service Marion County and all the surrounding counties to Marion County. And so that is what we are as NAMI.
Excellent. And what are some of the programs that you offer here in Greater Indianapolis?
Sure. Our most sought-after program is called NAMI Family to Family, and it is an 8-week course that meets once a week that really educates family members about mental health conditions. It goes everything from educating, the different types of mental health conditions to how to communicate with your loved one, to how to prepare for a crisis. It's a really excellent class, and that's our most sought-after class. I don't even have to advertise when that class comes out because people are constantly calling and being put on a wait list for that class. We also have a peer-to-peer class, which is a 6-week class for persons with a mental health condition to help them live in recovery. And so we call that recovery when you're going through a mental health condition and you're living through it and you're working through it. And this class helps you create paths and goals to really enhance your life. And then we also have, those are really long classes, and we have smaller seminars that can be given at faith communities or with businesses, really any sort of organization. We have tailored programs to give mental health education to those entities, including schools. And then we have a wide variety of support groups for people with a mental health condition and for family members. Before COVID, we had 13 ongoing, well-attended, some of them were weekly, some of them were monthly support groups in the greater Indianapolis area. And now, since COVID, we have brought everything over to a virtual level, and so we have weekly support groups for people that have a mental health condition and weekly support groups for the family members. And all of our programming also is being switched over to virtual, and it's going really well. I think that we are able to reach people that we normally hadn't been able to reach before, persons that had trouble with transportation or didn't feel comfortable leaving their kids at home, people that didn't want to leave their home. And so we're reaching a lot more people now that we're doing the format virtually, so we are going to continue that on even after the crisis is over.
And Julie, where can people find where they can join these support groups and find all of this information?
Sure. Our website is namiindy.org. So that's NAMIINDY.org. and everything is posted on the website where you would either register or ask for information, and it gives a little bit more details about what each program is to see which one is helpful for you. But if you're not sure, you can always email our info line at info@namiindy.org as well, and just ask a question. Hey, this is what I'm going through. What do I need? And we can help direct you to that. And I think the other thing that's really important about all of our programs is our programs are led by people with a lived experience. So we are not therapists. We are not trained psychologists. We are just people that have gone through the same thing that those people that want to take the class have gone through. And so it's through that lived experience that we share stories and we share methods and share opportunities to grow with each other.
And with it being May, it's also Mental Health Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. What's the significance of having a month where we can focus and really talk about mental health?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly important that we have an entire month, mainly due to the fact that in a lot of different areas of our culture, mental health is not viewed as equally as physical health, and it should be. Mental health affects everyone in some capacity. Mental health is on a continuum, and to not discuss it in the way that we talk about physical health is very harmful for us as people, as family members, and as a society. So if we have a whole month dedicated to that, then people are really thinking about it all month long about mental health and how important it is to talk about and to normalize the conversation, and for people to feel comfortable with the fact that they may have a mental health condition, and that's okay.
And what are some ways that people can start challenging the stigma around mental health? What is something that anyone can do?
Sure. I would encourage anyone that has ever experienced anything challenging in their life to discuss it with others and to discuss it with friends and families and talk about it as, I have went through this mental health crisis or situation in my life, and talk about it that way, and to be open to expressing what they've gone through and being vulnerable. And that's the most important way to decrease stigma, is for people to discuss and break down their vulnerabilities.
And if someone approaches you and it's a friend of yours, a family member, and they're telling you that they've gone through the situation, how can you respond and let them know that you care and you're listening? What's the best way to do that?
Sure. I think the best way to respond is mostly to listen, and to respond in a way that you're not there to fix the situation, or you're not there to solve the situation. You are really there to listen, to empathize with that person. And if you've ever experienced anything similar, to share that and to really just be there with that person on a personal level. I don't think that people will really want to tell their stories to persons that are just going to tell them, well, you should have done this, and you should have done this, and you need to do this, and that doesn't happen to us because we do this. People don't share their stories to people that respond in that nature. So, doing that active listening and really empathizing and being vulnerable yourself is the best thing that you can do when you talk to somebody. And
as we've been going through this pandemic, there's been more of a conversation about mental health. And some people are starting to experience some of these situations from loneliness, and it just keeps going. Where can people get resources?
Sure. And I think that there are multiple resources. I think that you need to make sure you're first safe and that you're fed and you have all of the basic needs that you have. If you are in a domestic violence situation, make sure you talk to somebody. You can call the Domestic Violence Hotline, that type of thing. But if you are looking for mental health specifically, there are many different mental health organizations that provide therapy in the greater Indianapolis area, and they are now also all doing virtual appointments. So it's a really great time to reach out to the different hospitals and mental health clinics in the area and start testing them out by calling them and saying, this is what I've experienced. are you an organization that I should be making an appointment with? And if it's not, they will direct you to the correct one. And you just try them out. And now that it's virtual, it's much easier to try them out. If you try it out a few times and you're not sure that you're really seeing the therapist that you really need to see, then you can try the next one. And it really just depends upon what you're going through, what your past was, and what fits with your personality. And so I really encourage people to just look out for the ones that really feel like they speak to what they've gone through. And there's a lot of listing of different organizations that you can call on our website, again, NamiIndy.org, that have different mental health clinics and hospitals that deal with mental health. And, it's just a really great time to try because you can do it from the comforts of your home.
And when the public health crisis ends, there's still going to be repercussions from it. Do you think after the coronavirus pandemic passes in its public health form, do you think that there will be a different view on mental health?
I hope so, and I think that already, because so many people are talking about mental health, it's that everyone is realizing that they're experiencing something right now. So it's not just the stranger in the dark that has a mental health condition. Everybody is seeing it as, oh, I can have a mental health condition too. Something can happen to me as well. I'm experiencing depression or anxiety. That it's becoming more normal for people to understand that you can have a mental health condition. And I think that after whatever this crisis entails, I think people will be more tuned in to really trying to understand each other. Hopefully that, people will understand about how to talk about suicide a little bit better, because a lot of people have gone through trauma through this and will go through trauma through this, whether it's the first responders in the hospitals, the parents, the teachers, the children. A lot of people are being affected, and the more that people are feeling the mental health pull on themselves, the more that they will learn about it and the more they will be in tune to talking to others about it.
And for the parents, if they see their child isn't acting like they have been in the past, how can a parent or a guardian approach their child and start a conversation about mental health?
I think it depends on the age of the child, but if, we're talking about a teenager, then it's very important to just have an open conversation. And I think that specifically in regards to suicide, a lot of parents have this common misconception that if you discuss suicide, that's going to put the idea in their head. And that's really not the truth at all. That a lot of people that are feeling depressed and lonely and suicidal are really looking to just discuss it with somebody. So if you have a loved one and you want to discuss that, be very, blunt and say, are you thinking about suicide? Do you have a plan? Do you know how you would do it? When was the last time you thought about suicide? And take every single yes answer to those as a serious mental health crisis and seek professional help immediately. So that's, one end of the spectrum. But if you've got, children that are experiencing, anxiety and stress because it's not their normal environment, then the best thing to do for them is to create structure like they used to have, to keep a structure in the home environment. But NAMI also has a program that is very helpful for parents and caregivers to help navigate this process, and it's called Nami Basics. And it's all online, and you can go at your own pace. And so if you go on our website, NamiIndy.org, there is a tab under Education that says Nami Basics, and click it, register, and you can go through that whole class on your own, at your own pace, online, and really understand children with mental health conditions and mental health symptoms, and really learn how to advocate for your child and what to go further with.
Excellent, Julie. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think I would like to add that, especially in regards to children, because children don't have school to go to right now, a lot of kids are stuck at home with abusive parents. And I think as a community, even though we are not, a lot face-to-face, we still need to be in tune to our neighbors and in tune to our friends and our family, and really looking out for the kids and looking out for maybe even the women that are in domestic violence situations that are stuck in their homes, and really understand how serious that could be for those persons for the rest of their lives. And I think that's important for people to be looking out for.
The phone number for the National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-7233. And the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255, 1-800-273-TALK. For the second part of the show, Megan Bousley of the Humane Society for Hamilton County joins me to talk about some recently announced events the organization has planned for later this year, as well as how you can keep your pets safe while going outside. So, Megan, can you tell me a little bit about some exciting news coming from the Humane Society about some of the events?
Absolutely. So we have announced our two of our big events for the year. One Wags and Whiskers usually happens in May, but obviously due to some of the things that are happening in the world right now, we did decide to postpone that. So Wine Wags and Whiskers will, instead of happening in May, it will be happening Friday, September 18th, and that will still be at the Embassy Suites in Noblesville. For those who attended last year, there are some exciting new things happening this year. So normally there's, hors d'oeuvres, adoptable dogs, photo booths, a lounge, wine tasting, and all of that will still be there this year. But we've also added a bourbon tasting, a beer tasting. Noble Coffee will be on site with some exciting coffee drinks, and Tito's will be there as well with different vodka cocktails. So we've kind of pulled in all of our alcohol partners to come up with this awesome event that kind of fits everybody. Not everyone's into wine. I'm not a wine person, but, with all of the other options, the bourbon, the beer, the wine, the vodka, there's something for everybody, which we're very excited about this year.
And for someone who hasn't attended the event, what is this event for?
It is a fundraiser for our general operating fund. So COVID has, financially affected all of us. And so this year it will be supporting our ability to just take care of the animals that come in every day. We take in over 3,100 animals every year, and a majority of them come to us with some kind of medical need, whether it's just, an upper respiratory infection or, it could be something more serious, a hit-by-car injury, pneumonia, skin infection, anything like that. So this event will raise money, much-needed money, to be able to do that, as well as rescuing animals at risk for euthanasia across the state.
And then you've also announced the date as well for Woofstock this year.
Yes, so Woofstock is changing a bit from last year as well. There will still be a 5K, which we're very excited about. It will start and end at Fort A. Ray in Fishers, and there will also be a really fun after party with a lot of vendors, a live band, food and drinks from Fort A. Ray, and because of all the uncertainty, we still wanted people to be able to participate. So there's also going to be a virtual option this year where everyone can still participate. They can still fundraise, which will benefit the Survivor program, which I touched on a little earlier, and then they'll also get the shirt and the medal, but they can do it in their own space, their own time. They can split it up, which is something that's nice about virtual races is, you can do a mile here, a mile there, and kind of do it in a way that works for you. So we're very excited about having that option as well.
And where can people sign up to be part of Woofstock?
It's woofstockrocks.com.
Excellent. And then just kind of touching again on what's happened with COVID, what are some ways that people can protect themselves and their pets when they're out so safely social distancing?
So for us, we're following all of the guidelines of the CDC. We have a lot of plans in place at the shelter to encourage people to still adopt, but to still be safe. The biggest thing for us is, that whole social distancing, wearing masks, and being respectful of other people, and making sure that, they have their space as well as that you have yours, and that, you're still taking all the necessary precautions with your dog when you're out walking or out at the park, and just being very conscientious of, the fact that, we are in a pandemic and, people's anxieties are high, and, sometimes being out with if you have a dog that doesn't like to be around other dogs, it can cause some chaos, and to just be mindful of that and stay as safe and healthy as possible.
And how have you changed the adoption process to keep both your volunteers, your employees, the people, and the pets safe? If people are like, oh, I want to adopt, I want to have that companion.
So where we're at now is we are allowing people back into our building. For about a month there, we closed down our lobby, and so we were just doing surrenders and stray intakes, and those were all curbside. At this point, we are still doing all of that curbside to limit the people in the building, but we are open for cat adoptions. So five people can come into the building at one time, and that's just to look at the cats. So at this point, we're doing all of our dog adoptions on a appointment schedule. Mm-hmm. So if people are interested in adopting a dog and they see one on our website that they are interested in, they can fill out the adoption application, and then someone on our staff will be in touch with them to set up the meet and greet.
Excellent. And if someone wants to start fostering, is now a good time to foster?
Absolutely. We've had so many animals go into foster, and we're so thankful for our entire foster network and our new fosters who, kind of rallied for us, and were able to take in, all of our animals. At one point, we had 200 animals in foster, which is just astronomical for us. We've never had to do that. So for our foster network to be so, flexible and open to helping was an immense help. So if anyone is still interested in fostering, we are always looking for fosters. That foster application is on our website.
Excellent. And can you tell us your website?
Yes, our website is hamiltonhumane.com.
Excellent. Also, last year you told us a little bit about the new facility that will be coming in the near future. How's that progress happening now?
So we are still on track. We will be breaking ground June 24th, which is very exciting, and we still hope to open in the first quarter of 2021.
Excellent. And for someone who missed out on that announcement, can you tell us how big this facility is and how it's going to impact your ability to care for animals in Hamilton County?
Yes, absolutely. So the new facility is located at 106th and Hague Road in Fishers. And right now, if anyone has been to our current facility, we share it with a low-cost spay-neuter clinic next door, and we operate in about 8,000 square feet. That new facility is going to be 40,000 square feet. It's a $12 million state-of-the-art facility that will not only allow us to house more animals, but it's going to have a surgical suite so we can perform spay-neuter surgeries, triage in-house. There's going to be better airflow to manage the spread of disease. So there will be separate airflow for each, cattery, the dog kennels, and for our isolation units as well to make sure that those animals are staying healthy and recovering. There's going to be infinitely more green space. Right now we're in a county building surrounded by pavement and gravel, and at the new spot, if anyone's driven past it, it's surrounded by trees. There's grass, which is something that currently our animals don't really have a lot of access to. Our catteries will have access to sunlight, which is something we don't have here. So we're just very excited for all of those opportunities for our animals, for the opportunity to increase our life-saving capabilities. And it's just all the staff. We're so excited to have this new space and to, see the impact that it's going to have on Hamilton County and the animals that we're serving.
And people can stay up to date with the updates through after the groundbreaking at hamiltonhumane.com and also on your social media, right?
Yes, absolutely. And Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all just Hamilton Humane. That's how you can find us.
Perfect. Megan, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Wine Wags and Whiskers tickets can be found at winewagsandwhiskers.com. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier or not.
People can stay up to date with all the events coming up for Wine Wag and Whiskers and Woofstock at the respective websites and sign up and support Hamilton Humane.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Megan.
Yes, thank you.
If you want to reach out or if you have topics you'd like me to cover, you can reach me at Metheny, that's EMETHENY, at radio-1.com. Thank you for listening, and please join me again next week. Until then, have a great week.
Radio Now 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.